This is the outline for Chapter 1.
We're going to go over it real quick and add in the different highlights in the notes. So let's start off with defining human development. Human development refers to the science of how people change and how they remain the same over time. When you're talking about science, that refers to collecting data, having systematic observation. So it's based on data. All right, so we're going to learn about a lot of different theories of human development, and these different theories differ on where they stand on these key issues. On these, you have nature and nurture. Some theories place more emphasis on nature, say that development is more of a genetic thing, it's more hereditary. And then you have other theories that place more emphasis on nurture, the environment, how much love you get, all your experiences. Then you have continuity versus discontinuity, and continuity refers to development being kind of a smooth progression, whereas discontinuity refers to development happening more in stages. And Piaget has stage developmental theory, Freud, Erikson, they all have the different stages, so they believe that development is discontinuous. It's not really smooth, it's more stage. Then you have the issue of whether development is universal, that it happens the same to all people, or if it's more context specific, meaning that it really kind of depends on your environment and your culture. If you are growing up in an underdeveloped area where there isn't running water, there isn't industry, things like that, your development is going to be very different than, say, growing up in the U.S., where we have more of like an emerging adulthood. We have late adulthood due to advanced medicine, things like that. All right, let's move down to the basic forces of human development. We're going to be using the biopsychosocial framework for understanding human development, which means that we're going to be looking at the biological forces, so the development that's happening within our body, the psychological, so the things that are happening in our mind. We're going to look at how we develop cognitively, emotionally, how our personality develops throughout the years. We're also going to look at the socio-cultural forces, so stuff that's happening in our environment that then impacts our development, as well as we need to consider the timing of certain events in our life. So if you experience the death of a parent, you're going to experience it quite differently, and it's going to have a different impact on your development if you're a child compared to if you're, say, a middle-aged adult. So those are the different forces of human development that we need to consider throughout the course. So neuroscience actually brings all these different forces together. Neuroscience refers to the study of how of the relationship between the brain and our behavior. So it looks at our brain, our nervous system, and really breaks it down. So the belief behind neuroscience is that the activity of our brain and neurons translates into behavior. It brings all these different forces together and helps us make sense of how all these different forces interact.